Hollywood is a glorious and sometimes disgusting place. It's a cold, clinical and cynical business, but hey ho, when you get that little glimmer of making it, times are good. While some actors are given an entire picture to headline and steer to success, others are merely afforded a brief scene or two to showcase their talents. And it's in these few scenes where some of the biggest stars of today have made their mark and fired themselves right on into the A-list. This lot went and done good, with very little indeed. I'm Gareth from WhatCulture.com, and here are 8 actors who got famous off just one scene. Number 8. Steve Carell, Bruce Almighty. Comedy movies have so often been used as the launching pad for many a career. And one career in particular that was skyrocketed in such a way was that of Steve Carell's. Having spent his formative years doing commercials and having occasional stints on sketch shows such as Saturday Night Live and The Dana Carvey Show, it was 2003's Bruce Almighty that first thrust Carell into the public spotlight. After having audiences in hysterics with his antics as news anchor Evan Baxter, Carell propelled himself into being one of those funny chaps people are dying to see more of. And see more of him they did. While Evan got his own spin-off picture, Evan Almighty, the next project to come for Carell directly after Bruce Almighty was a little movie by the name of Anchorman. Again, set in the familiar setting of a newsroom, Anchorman continued to showcase Steve Carell as a standout star of the comedy genre. Number 7. Andy Serkis, The Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. The story of Gollum may have been summarised in The Fellowship of the Ring, complete with a brief look at this tormented soul, but it was in The Two Towers that Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings movies fully showcased the character. In doing that, the audience were left in awe at what they saw from Andy Serkis's Gollum. Never before had a CGI character looked so lifelike or been delivered in a mocap package that was every inch a living, breathing performance. With that role, Serkis was made into a star, and he's become known as the godfather of motion capture work performance. Plus, he's a pretty damn impressive actor in a live-action setting too. If there's one scene that was responsible for shining a light on the talents of Andy Serkis, it's the moment in The Two Towers where we see the dueling personalities of Gollum and his former self Smeagol battling it out while Frodo and Sam get some sleep. It's erratic, it's heartfelt, it's as real can be, and it was a groundbreaking moment in the very history of cinema, not to mention the career of Andy Serkis.
It's okay, didn't you, precious? Shut up and carry on with the list, you filthy beast.
Number 6. Viola Davis, Doubt. Viola Davis had spent a decade in small TV roles as a minor player in movies such as Disturbia and Traffic, and impressed on the stage too. But it was in 2008's Doubt that the highly talented actress really caught the attention of the movie-going public. In the film, Davis only appears for a total of about 8 minutes. Yet, that fleeting appearance was enough to nab the actress an Academy Award nomination. Doubt is a picture overflowing with some truly powerhouse performances. Philip Seymour Hoffman, Meryl Streep and Amy Adams are all in superb form. Yet, Viola Davis arguably steals the entire movie for her turn as Mrs. Miller, a mother whose son is allegedly being molested by a priest. Appearing opposite Streep's sister Aloysius, Davis's character surprisingly reacts in a not totally negative way. Instead of lashing out in an angry manner, Mrs. Miller admits she would turn a blind eye to these allegations if they were to be proven true. With that one scene alongside Meryl Streep, Viola Davis not only earned herself an Oscar nod, but she became a global star who is now viewed as one of the elites of the acting world. Number 5. Chloe Grace Moretz, Kick-Ass. Fans of Mark Millar and John Romita Jr.'s Kick-Ass comic book series were already well aware of just how cool a character Minnie McGeady, aka Hit Girl, was. For those who had never experienced those Miller and Romita Jr. funny books, they were in for the best kind of surprise when Hit Girl turned up to slice and dice her way through the bad guys in Matthew Vaughn's 2010 Kick-Ass adaptation. Much like Aaron Taylor Johnson's Dave Lazuski is left open-mouthed and dumbfounded when Hit Girl turns up to save him from a bunch of no-good criminal sorts, so too were those watching the insane action unraveling on their very screen. There's just a childish joy and enthusiasm about Hit Girl's arrival that instantly marked her out as a ridiculously fun, scene-stealing, badass character who audience were clamouring to see more of. And as a result, those same people now had Chloe Grace Moretz on their radar. Since that 2010 movie, Moretz's career has been a little bit up and down, while the youngster has juggled her education with her acting. Although nobody can argue that scene marking Hit Girl's debut well and truly put the actress on the cinematic map. Number 4. Danny Dyer, Human Traffic. While Justin Kerrigan's Human Traffic is designed to be an ensemble piece, the focus of the movie largely ends up skewing towards the perspective of John Sims' Jip. That being said, one person who manages to steal the entire movie whenever he's on screen is one Danny Dyer as Moth. And in particular, it's the famous toilet-based brother scene that stands out as a star-making turn for Dyer. Granted, Danny Dyer isn't exactly A-list Hollywood caliber, but it was his performance in Human Traffic that led to a career of gigs in which the Londoner simply played slightly tuned-up versions of his real self. Off the back of Human Traffic, Dyer played varying versions of the same sort of character in Mean Machine, The Football Factory, The Business, Severance, Doghouse, and even in 2 Grand Theft Auto games. Has Danny Dyer been pigeonholed off the back of each of these roles? For sure, but he's been more than happy to allow that to happen. Number 3, Leonardo DiCaprio, This Boy's Life. Leonardo DiCaprio has been in the entertainment industry since he was just a young boy, with the actor famously dropping out of high school to pursue a career in acting. And if that's not an example to set out into the world, I don't know what is. That career didn't come overnight though, and the young Leo found himself working commercials and having the odd guest spot on TV shows such as The New Lassie and Roseanne in his early days. Having made his big screen debut in 1991's Critters 3, it was 2 years later in This Boy's Life that DiCaprio truly cemented himself as one of the hottest rising stars in the business. As troubled, Toby Wolf, the future A-lister, delivered a performance that was one of the best of the decade, period. Sharing screen time with Robert De Niro and Ellen Barkin was always going to be a great moment for such a fledgling career, and it's DiCaprio's dynamic with De Niro in particular that stands out as the foundation of the movie. The legendary De Niro plays Dwight, the abusive partner of Toby's mother, and it's the first time that Dwight shows off this shockingly vicious and cruel nature to Toby that DiCaprio really shines. A similarly stunning performance was around the corner for Leo in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, and from there he was soon to find himself in the likes of Romeo and Juliet and Titanic as he became one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. And he's still doing alright today, isn't he? Number 2, Donnie Wahlberg, The Sixth Sense. Donnie Wahlberg may have attained some semblance of fame due to his time in New Kids on the Block, but he was largely a nobody in the acting world until The Sixth Sense came along. 3 years into his acting career at that point in time, Wahlberg had small roles in Bullet and Ransom, and he'd impressed an independent offering Smoothie, yet it was his brief turn as Vincent Gray in The Sixth Sense that saw the actor actually be taken a little bit more seriously. Even though he's only on screen for barely, 3 minutes of the movie, Wahlberg's Vincent sets the tone perfectly for the truly chilling The Sixth Sense. Having lost over 40 pounds for the role, Donnie put himself through real-life torment and deprivation in order to fully immerse himself into this small yet vital part of M. Night Shyamalan's 1999 film. In The Sixth Sense's massively impactful opening scene, a clearly troubled and desperate Vincent shoots Bruce Willis's Malcolm Crowe before turning the gun on himself. Off the back of The Sixth Sense, Donnie Wahlberg would soon find himself involved in the jaw-dropping Band of Brothers, before roles followed in the Saw franchise, Dreamcatcher, Boomtown, and the lead ongoing role of Detective Danny Reagan in CBS's Blue Bloods. Number 1, Tom Cruise, Risky Business. Tom Cruise is one of the biggest movie stars of the modern era. Few actors have ever had the same sort of success as the Cruise has through his 40-year career, and the one scene that started his ascension towards superstardom can be pinpointed as his famous pants dancing scene in Risky Business. A 21-year-old rookie actor at the time, Cruise's appearance in that 1983 picture marked him out as somebody to keep an eye on. It's no surprise that the years following Risky Business saw Tom Cruise embark on a run that went from Top Gun to The Color of Money to Cocktail to Rain Man to Born on the 4th of July to Days of Thunder, as the actor cemented himself as one of the best in the game. Even now in 2020, Tom Cruise is just as popular as he's ever been, with the Mission Impossible franchise proving to be a constant box office powerhouse for Cruise, not to mention Top Gun Maverick and an Edge of Tomorrow sequel serving as 2 other Cruise vehicles that are on the horizon. This Cruise has shown no signs of ducking anytime soon. And that's our list. Know of any other actors who got famous off just one scene? Let us know all about them in the comments section right down there. And do not forget to like, share, and click on that subscribe button. I've been Gareth from WhatCulture.com. Thank you very, very much for watching, and I'm sure that I'm going to see you soon.